brother, a friend, a teacher, and a father of two amazing boys that you'll get to meet in a few minutes. At the age of 27, I was diagnosed with bipolar II disorder, and my life and mental health journey since then have been complicated. Like many of us during the pandemic, I found myself sinking. Overnight, the world became claustrophobic, and for an extroverted teacher like me who thrives on the daily social interactions of the school environment, that isolation was crippling. It brought me back to very dark places, memories of deep depressive episodes that I thought I had conquered and left behind me. It was a harsh reminder that when living with mental illness, recovery is not a progression, but a continual process. Part of my recovery story, then, is that when the world was closing us in, I learned how to turn myself outward and forge connections and renew relationships that span distances, physical and social, all made possible by a set of funny shaped dice. I'm talking, of course, about Dungeons and Dragons. This is my uniform. D&D is a collaborative storytelling game. One person, the dungeon master or DM, in this case me, conceives of the world and the plot line, populates it with characters and monsters, and the players create their own characters of unique backgrounds and attributes and skills and cool equipment. And they roll the dice, the DM arbitrates the rules, but together they shape the adventure. It is immersive, imaginative play, the kind that kids do naturally. Adults, not so often. Most of us put our imaginations away sometime in our 20s and rarely take them out for sustained periods after that. And that's a real shame, because imaginative play, sustained imaginative play, is really good for us. It's creative, it is joyful, it is connective. And at a time when the world was closing us in, D&D became an outlet and a lifeline for me. I learned that the interior world of my mind didn't need to be lonely, and that shared mental spaces could be spaces of companionship, of adventure, and renewal. Let me give you a concrete example. My younger brother, Brian, lives in another state. We love each other dearly, but we had never been the kind of brothers who call each other up just to chat. But D&D changed something. At the beginning of the pandemic, we began playing with a few other friends over Zoom on Friday nights. And here's what happened. At the beginning of every session, before the dragons and the goblins, we spent about 30 minutes catching up on each other's lives. Small talk about what's happening in the world today, but bigger things. Stresses at work, at home, and our families. And occasionally some very heavy personal struggles. It was therapeutic without the formalities of therapy. Close male friendships, especially among adults, are increasingly rare. Self-reported loneliness is at the highest levels ever observed in our society. This has grave implications for mental health and our collective well-being. So having a space where we could open up to one another and share each other's struggles and joys and sorrows while laughing our way through an imaginative adventure, it made us more supportive of each other in the real world. But perhaps the most meaningful D&D facilitated connection for me was with my kids. At first, it was Daddy's eccentric hobby. On Friday nights, they kept them up past midnight. But they very quickly became fascinated with the stories that I was writing and the worlds that we were creating and the characters. Before long, I'm running games with them and then with their friends. And what had been mine became ours, a shared hobby grounded in imagination and play. Instead of devices pulling us apart into isolated digital worlds, we would spend hours around the table together, laughing, telling stories, figuring out problems, and it brought us closer together. It is something that has been precious to me. In fact, I want to invite them on stage now to give you a little taste of what it looks like and feels like. John and Walter, come on up. as the DM, I'll describe a scene, some of the non-player characters that are in it. They will make decisions about how to act. They'll roll a 20-sided die, a d20, to determine the success of their choices. Ordinarily, we play on a printed map with tokens or miniatures to represent the players and the monsters, but we can also play in what's called the theater of the mind, which some would say is D&D at its purest. You guys ready?
Yeah.
We have John, you're a level 5 elf rogue, and Walter, you're a level 5 half-orc barbarian. It was the day of the festival of bounteous rains, a laughable misnomer in this arid land where droughts last for years and the sun blazes perpetually above. But the Lord Mayor thinks the spectacle will cheer up his weary populace in Shorten, or at least enough to get their votes in next month's election. You stand on the street in front of a poster. It reads, "A day of games and water for all," with a smiling face and thumbs up with the mayor. A vote for security and stability.
There's no way out. It was miserable living here before all these in-person cases. Most of them children, all of them unsolved.
And we learned last session that all of those children come from families loyal to the Lord Mayor.
And he's losing support because of it. The living does once again.
You follow the crowd into the main square. Everyone has turned out. Many of them look angry. You enter from the southwest corner. The crowd heaves closer to the raised wooden stage with a boxing ring set up in front of the fountain, flowing gloriously for this one day of the year. In the northwest corner is the palanquin of Grand Dame Valuria of House Perpetua.
She's going to replace the Lord Mayor next month, right?
Yes.
What's what I know about her from being here 2 days?
Roll history, DC 10. So DC stands for difficulty class. It's the number that they have to meet or beat in order to succeed. In this case, 9. Well, you've heard people talk about her generally with a sense of fear and some allusion to connection to a criminal network. You feel that there's tension in the air. The Lord Mayor is on stage, preparing to deliver a speech to the rest of the crowd. Every politician, his family is up there with him, looking uncomfortable, maybe even a little scared.
How many people?
His wife and 4 children, ranging from 20 to a toddler, clinging to his mother's calves. Suddenly, there's a noise. A heckler over by Valuria shouts out an insult to the mayor. Your keen elven senses detect a more ominous movement. 2 short, tattooed men make their way up to the back side of the stage. They're clearly trying to be sneaky. One of them carries a bronze censer, smoke rising from the coals burning within.
Diversion. Do I recognize them?
Roll perception, DC 15.
That's 19.
All right. Your eyes detect a stylized Perpetua tattoo on his arm. They're Valuria's men. What do you do?
Tell a barbarian to stop that. What do I see them doing?
All right, you're 15 feet away. They're crouched below the stage. You see several wooden crates down there. One of them holding fireworks for later tonight. The one with the censer lifted up, he blows into it. Flames come out, igniting the crates.
I run up and try to attempt to grab the one starting the fire.
All right, he doesn't see you coming. Make an athletics check with advantage.
Now, 16.
All right, you grapple him successfully.
I put it on our tape. 30 pounds now, because I'm already.
The fire, the need flares up quickly. He turns to you and says, "It's too late." His friend squares off against you. Roll initiative. Beginning of every combat, all of the players and monsters roll to determine the order in which they take their turns. On their turns, they're limited to the number of things they can do. Make an attack, cast a spell, do a simple interaction with an object or person, and movement up to 30 feet. Rogue, you're up first. You're 15 feet away. The fire is, oh, you're right, the fire is what's happening. The fire is burning quickly, all right? The town sees this. It quickly becomes a tumult of shouting. The Lord Mayor grabs his wife by the arm and pulls her to the north side of the stage. But in the confusion, the toddler runs to the southwest corner. He's 15 feet away. What do you do?
Are there any food vendors nearby?
Sure, there's men selling sweets right in front of you.
I grab a lollipop and a pretzel and go to the baby offering it along.
Okay. A firework shoots out towards you as you're running towards him. Make a DC 15 dex save.
20, easy.
You definitely jump over the firework. You make your way to the corner, but it explodes behind you. This toddler is terrified. Make a persuasion check. DC 20.
Ooh, yeah. That's a 20!
It succeeds. The toddler, in his panic, jumps into your arms. Right, that's your action. You got 15 feet of movement left. Anything else?
Is there anyone who can take the baby?
There is a man, a guard, managing the crowd, 10 feet to your left.
I went up to him and pushed the baby into his arms and finished off with a pretzel and jump off the stage.
Okay. Let's see. Eating a pretzel, 5 feet left. It's high. You're gonna have to roll a DC 20 acrobatics check.
21!
All right.
20.
Congratulations, you've landed on the burning stage.
And he sticks the landing.
More fireworks are shooting off by now. Barbarian, you're up next.
I want to break this guy's arm.
Okay, you have him in a grapple. Roll an unarmed strike with advantage.
20. Okay.
All right, critical hit. You need to roll twice damage.
14.
You slam your right arm down on his extended elbow, snapping it with a sickening sound. He takes 14 damage. Anything else?
I got his arm on my face the other guy.
All right. By now, the crowd is getting terrified. They're working themselves up into a mob. The villain's turn. The man with the censer turns, swinging the censer at you with his good arm. That's a 17. It's going to hit. It slams into your side, scalding your flesh. Takes 7 fire damage. The other one, sensing an opportunity, runs up and tries to shove you backwards into the mob. Make a contested athletics check. You have to beat a 16.
Dang it, that's 12.
All right, he succeeds. He pushes you back. You lose your balance. He turns to run away. You do get an opportunity attack.
I learned to triple with my feet.
All right, that's an unarmed strike with disadvantage.
Oh, that's an 8.
Oh, that's going to miss. You're falling backwards. Your leg kicks out, but it fails to hit him. You land in the mob. They're coming over you. He's making it away. Back to the top. Rogue, you're on top of the stage. It's burning up in front of you. Out of your side eye, you can see the culprits are about to get away. And your friend is on the ground, about to be trampled by a mob. What will you do?
Dun, dun, dun!
Thank you, boys. Playing with them. The world of their imaginations enriched in so many ways, and I know they're building relationships with each other in a way that I hope they carry forward. You know, D&D, I think, teaches lessons about how to live, too. Maybe you saw some of the difficult choices they had to make. In this game, your choices have consequences, intended and unforeseen. You declare your intended action, you roll the dice, you adjust for your particular strengths or weaknesses, and then you live or sometimes die by the results. Because unlike most fictional stories in D&D, the main characters are not guaranteed to survive until the end. A battle with a powerful monster can wipe out the entire party of adventurers, especially if they fail to communicate and collaborate effectively in the battlefield, or make tactical blunders, or sometimes just have a run of bad luck with the dice. Unlike video games, there's no save points. You can't unsay a word. You can't unroll the dice. In fiction, generally, and things like movies and video games, Netflix, even dare I say reading, those are essentially passive activities. D&D is fundamentally different. You're not consuming someone else's story, you're co-creating your own together. And that's powerful. And it draws us together. D&D has given me many things. It's also given me a way to help manage my bipolar. The onset of a manic episode, which can last for days or even weeks, brings surges of intense, chaotic, sometimes destructive energy. And that energy needs to go somewhere. In the past, that has spilled out in ways that have done harm to me and those around me. But as a dungeon master, I can channel those manic energies into the endless possibilities of world building. And it's one of the most artistic and healthy ways of dealing with my bipolar that I've ever had. At a time when I was at risk of turning precarious inward, I was able to turn creatively outward. I reconnected with my brother on a regular basis. I deepened my friendships locally, and I'm establishing new traditions and memories with my kids. If I could summarize what I've learned from rolling the dice, it would be this. We're all adventurers in each other's stories. And renewal and recovery often happens not in acts of solitary triumph, but in shared imagination, sustained connection, and the courage to play together.